All right, so we got a new golfer swing here. Some really nice things going on here, but we do have some, pretty characteristic faults that all kind of bleed into together. So for a new golfer, this is fantastic, um, but it's actually going to be really great with this face-on video to be able to show some good takeaway positions and just how a better takeaway will actually help lead to a better position at the top of your backswing and kind of help the whole thing. And so what we have here is a very strong grip. That left wrist is, the whole hand is basically over. We can kind of see all the fingers. And so there's nothing wrong with this. What this does is it creates a hinge. And, Dustin Johnson's did it, so he's doing pretty good out here. So there's nothing inherently wrong with it. The problem is that you're just going to have to figure out how to get the club and your body to kind of work together because it's going to create a lot of disconnection very early on in the swing. And so what I mean by that is as we start to take back, we can kind of already see that the hands are really beating the rest of the club. We're not having that nice one-piece takeaway. And so when the left hand kind of gets outside of the foot, so this is kind of roughly the position, we'd want to see that the club shaft is more parallel with the ground. And so we can kind of see that, the camera moves a little bit, whatever, but we get a pretty decent angle there where the wrists are already starting to set and come up. And what that does is it creates a lot of tension inside your chest. It creates a lot of tension inside your back as well. And so the feeling of having a turn is you're starting to create restrictions that are starting to tell you that I'm at the top of my swing, when really that tight point is coming from a part that we don't want to have it. We want it to happen more into our leg and our core to tell us that, hey, we're getting near the end of the swing, rather than our chest and our back. And so what happens when we want to continue to swing is our back starts to kind of stop. And one of the things that we see here is we actually start to come down. And so it's fine to have our back leg be bent. We just want to try and have a position where my weight can kind of shift on the inside and I'm able to rotate around that hip. And where our belt line is, if we had a down the line view, we would see that we don't have a lot of hip rotation here, and our club is for sure not parallel. So we're artificially getting length in our swing by having very extended wrists in that position. So as we come down, this is an awesome move. This is definitely one that we want to keep. And so we can see kind of this squat and get down. And so we're really kind of, having that left foot up, as our trigger cue to get down, turn, and around. And so there's a lot of really nice things here. The problem is that because we didn't get to a full turn, our shoulder didn't get all the way around, our hips didn't really kind of post up, we don't really have any leverage to push us onto this side. And so by creating the squat, we're doing the right thing by getting our legs engaged. We have nothing to push off of, and so we're going to end up stalling out, and we're not going to be able to come back up as easy. And so we see here is a very big loss of level. And so as we come down, we can just see how far underneath that line we get, and then we're kind of stuck. From here, if we release the club without getting up, obviously our we would bottom out, at the right foot level. And so we do a decent job, and what ends up happening because of that change in level is our arms have to really get in close to our body to try and shorten the swing so that we don't duff it. And so what that looks like through the follow through is we have this kind of like pendulum, almost like putting stroke angle with the arms. And this is exactly that. It's that relation. We're trying to pull the club in. And so, our takeaway position, we want that hand to be, right around here or so. We want to have that, nice straight parallel. And we want that extension coming through. We want to have that same level of extension. So as that hand comes through, we want to see that this hand and the club is almost all the way straight. We can just see how bent that right elbow is and a little chicken wing and whatnot. So for a new golf swing, absolutely fantastic. Some really important things to take away from. A couple of easy drills and things to work on would just be that first position. Just get yourself to like almost that Justin Thomas kind of takeaway. Ricky Fowler, they kind of get to this position, check, make sure, okay, am I in the right spot? Are my arms extended? And really feel like you're trying to stretch out behind you, like you're trying to extend your arms. And this will help with that rotation quite a bit more. Keep that nice squat and turn. But when you get here, really feel like when as I'm squatting, that this front leg is trying to stand up. I'm trying to almost jump up, kind of look at McElroy where it gets there and he really starts to elevate and go through that leg. And that clearing, that almost popping it's just going to help you. The only way you're going to do that and hit it is if you turn. And so it's just a nice cue to have that squat, jump, turn, whatever it might be for vernacular of what you think of. But will definitely give you some more room to hit the ball, just so you're not almost stopping this one like that. But looking good.